Yeah. I don't mean to be mean, but I'm just saying because sex is important. Attraction is important.
100%.
You know?
It is. Sex is an important part of marriage. In case you didn't know. Hey fam, it's Jazz.
Miss Jaden.
And we're coming to you live.
With the vibe.
Come join the tribe.
What tribe?
Jake Tribe?
Hey.
Hey, you know.
That's right.
Hey fam, I hope everybody is doing well. Today we have another good topic for you guys.
What's the topic?
Yes, ways to prepare yourself for marriage.
Ooh, ways to prepare yourself for marriage.
Are you ready for marriage?
You gotta prepare to get married?
Yeah, you actually gotta prepare to get married.
Yeah, for sure.
What they say, preparation to success. No, preparation is the key to success.
That's right.
Yep.
Facts.
Preparation is the key to success. So, yeah, you definitely want to be prepared, in my opinion, for marriage.
Absolutely. So, family, let's get right to it.
Yes.
Understanding yourself, self-love. Now, in order to love somebody else, you gotta love yourself.
That's a fact.
Yeah, it sounds a little
Cliche.
cliche, right? It does. But if you don't love yourself, how you gonna love somebody else? If you don't treat yourself right, how you gonna treat your spouse correctly?
That's 100% a fact, right? Like, it's always important to do that inner work first before you get off into something else, right? Because ultimately, you're gonna always have yourself. You're gonna be, if you love yourself, and if you've worked and done that inner work on yourself, you won't just accept any and everything. And also, it'll be better for you and your partner because now you're coming from a place of security within yourself, love within yourself, and now you can bring that out into somebody else. But if you're insecure or if you haven't done the work, the inner work for yourself to really know who you are, what are the things that I enjoy doing, what are the things that make me who I am, if you don't know that, then you could get with somebody and then all of a sudden you start turning into who they are because you just don't know who you are.
Yes, and that's dangerous. It seems like many people out there, they don't love themselves and they try to find themselves by loving that other person instead of truly loving themselves. And you really set yourself up to get hurt in the future, in the long run.
100%, because a lot of times the other person will realize, oh, okay, this person doesn't have that self-love. They're cleaving to me, clinging on to me for that. And so that person can easily, if they're that type of person, they can easily take advantage of that because they know that you don't have that, self-esteem or that self-love.
Yeah, it takes work, family. I know we're getting deep in the get-go.
I know from the jump.
Yeah, right. We're getting deep with it, but it's necessary.
Yeah.
You got to tell yourself that you love yourself. You got to say, I love myself. I love myself.
Yes.
And you love the Creator who made you, who made us. We have to love our Creator and we have to love ourselves. And it takes work. It takes effort to look in the mirror and love what you see.
100%.
And to work on yourself. Not just from the inside, I gotta keep it back on the outside as well.
Yeah, 100%. If there are things that you already know to yourself that these are things I want to work on, we
all have them. We all have things we can work on.
We
for
all
sure.
have them.
Yeah.
So go ahead on before you get married, before you get into a relationship. Work on those things. If that is going to the gym, if that is eating more healthy, if that's connecting with God more. These are all important things that you can do to help work on yourself and prepare yourself for a marriage and for being with someone. Another thing too is if you feel like you're struggling with the self-esteem aspect of things, look at yourself in the mirror and give yourself affirmations. There's so many affirmations out there that you can tell yourself, I am worthy, things like that. Look at yourself in the mirror, write it out. Look at the Bible and then see what it says in there about who you are according to God, right? And know that you are powerful and you are great and the Most High does love you. And so you can love yourself in return, So it's definitely a work in progress, you know, and it may take years, you know, to fully get that self love and that reassurance within yourself. But trust me, it's so worth it.
Yes, but it's difficult. Gotta keep it real because we have a lot of trauma that we deal with. Many of us come from troubled backgrounds.
Yeah.
We've been in troubled relationships. We've had parents that were abusive. Whatever the case may be, we have trauma that we're dealing with that is causing us to not love ourselves, to not appreciate ourselves, to hate ourselves. So it's important that we work, you know, in our inner self and on our outer self as well. Let's dress better. Let's eat better.
Yeah.
Let's live better. Let's listen to music better.
Yeah,
Let's
better
pick our
music.
friends better.
Oh, right, yes.
Yes, like I can imagine it can be difficult for somebody on a date with another person and it's like they talk negative about themselves, they're hating on themselves, they're really negative, they seem insecure, like that's not attractive and for that person to date the other person who's insecure, it's a turnoff. And that person needs some help. But I like to mention this. Where does self-love come from? Like how what's gonna cause us to love ourselves, to work on ourselves? What do you think is what's gonna cause us to love ourselves, in your opinion?
Well, in my opinion, I think it starts with knowing that you want better. You know, I think first and foremost, knowing that you want better, you know,
Want
because
better.
maybe you're in a depressed state, maybe, you know, and you know that, you know, I can't continue on this path. It's not healthy for me, it's not good for me. So I think that first thing is like recognizing like, okay, I can do better, I want to change. I think that's the first step. What do you think, babe?
I think that was beautiful, by the way. I think it starts with having awareness,
Yeah.
having consciousness of who you are, and who do you belong to. And once you have that, once you have knowledge of self, I know I'm sounding deep, right? Knowledge of self. But really, when you have knowledge of self,
Yeah.
knowledge of self is really having awareness of who you are,
100%.
where you come from, your history, your heritage. I believe that we, especially in the black community, we should do our due diligence and research our history that goes before 1619. Because unfortunately, many of us think that our history just started with slavery. Yes, our people here in the Americas, yes, our ancestors were enslaved, and our ancestors did the best for what they were given. We were able to create nothing. We were able to create something out of nothing.
Yeah.
So that's a blessing within itself. However, I encourage all of us to do our research and find out our origin. Where do we come from? And hey, if you want to know more about that, feel free to check out my channel, the Jaden Israel. Jaden Israel. Feel free to check out my channel, and I got some gems for you, family. But I believe it starts with knowledge of self.
100%, right? When you know who you are, or when you start recognizing that, you know what, I want to change, and then you can go seek that out in the Bible, seek that out, you know, go to Jaden Israel channel. There's so many sources out there where you can figure out who am I, right? Because especially in the black community, we're told of one pretty specific narrative, which is that, you know, we were slaves, you know, and we had a hard time here in America, which we were enslaved. Now let's change being from we were slaves to we were enslaved. We were kidnapped, right? I think that's also a change, because it's like the way that you see it, the way that words are said, you internalize that, right? So if you say like, oh, well, I came from a slave, well, you might actually think, no, you came from an enslaved person that was kidnapped, right? But they were not slaves, right? They were humans, right?
That's right.
Yeah, so definitely it's all about, you know, the way that things are worded. But also, too, we're told a specific narrative. Okay, you know, you guys were slaves, and you know, you guys had to fight for your freedom, right? But we don't get to hear about, a lot of times we don't get to hear about what was going on before that, right?
That's right.
You know, and you can start building that self-esteem, because you can realize like, no, we weren't just like enslaved people, and that wasn't it for us, you know. There was so much more. We have so much more of a rich history outside of that, you know. And another thing too, so that could be something that could make you feel of a lower self-esteem, right? Because you're feeling like, well, why me? You know, why did this have to be? Why did this have to be something that happened? You know, to my ancestors, right? But you can definitely search that out and see. Another thing too is maybe you were someone who in school, you know, maybe you were made fun of, or whatever the case may be. So these can all be little triggers to the reason why, you know, you didn't get a lot of maybe you didn't get a lot of encouragement when you were, you know, at home from, you know, your parents or your siblings or whatever the case may be. So these can all be like reasons why, you know, you may be struggling with things. And trust me, we all struggle with something.
For sure.
But you can overcome that, right? You can overcome that. You weren't meant to stay in a state of depression. You weren't meant to stay in a state of feeling unworthy. So definitely, I would say, you know, work on your inner searching. You know, read the Bible, and yeah, you'll find it. You'll find your way for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, and do your own research too. Don't just take somebody else's word for it, but actually investigate it yourself. Because when you do that, when you research and look into our heritage before 1619, it will change your whole perception. It will change your life. It will be a paradigm shift. It was a paradigm shift for us. So yes, I like to at least mention that having awareness of who you are and where you come from, and having a connection, a relationship with the Most High, because that's the most important. Having a connection to your heritage, but not having a relationship with the Most High, well, there's no point.
Yeah.
It's all out the window.
100%.
So, yeah. Wow. Hey, family, I know we hit you hard with this
I know.
point.
Off the top,
Yeah,
right?
we gotta get it out there, right? We got it's self-love, and it
That's
takes
the
work.
first step.
Yeah.
It's really the first step. Self-love is the first step. So yeah.
Yeah,
well,
let's get to the next part.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So the next one is building a strong foundation. Okay. So yeah, you want to build a strong foundation. This kind of goes in part with understanding yourself and knowing yourself, right? You want to build that strong foundation, right? You don't want to be weak or waver. You want to know, like, okay, this is me. This is who I am. I have come into myself, right? So
Right.
you want to build a strong foundation.
Yeah, absolutely. Because humans, we make mistakes. We are imperfect. We fail. We need help from the Most High. You know, we can
100%.
do our best, but the Most High wants us. He wants us to do our best, to have that attitude that, hey, we admit that we're not perfect, but we aim to be the best that we can be. And having a strong foundation in God, that gives us that. It gives us that blueprint on how to live life,
Yes.
and how to love ourselves, and how to love others, and how to treat our spouse, or how to treat our spouse to be. It's really the roadmap for our life. Having a relationship with God, and actually reading the Bible, but actually applying the
Yes.
Bible, which is the hard part. I mean, anybody can read it and sound cool and say some scriptures,
Mhm.
but the hard work is actually the
Doing the work.
implementation.
Mhm.
So having that foundation, you're already prepared for marriage.
100%. That was excellent, baby.
Oh, hey, yeah. I was in the hands prepared for marriage.
You do your thing. Can you tell he preaches?
Hey.
Yeah, you do
You
your
know what it
thing.
is.
For sure. No, 100%, babe. You know, you definitely want to build that strong foundation with the Most High. And also, too, that helps you realize, like, what I will accept and what I won't accept from somebody, right? So you'll already have this in mind, right? You'll have that self-respect, and you'll want people to respect you just as you respect other people. Also, you know, once you do find a partner, you will be able to start building certain boundaries, certain things that you are okay with, you'll start being able to tell people, this is how you're supposed to be treating me, because I understand myself. I know myself. I've built a strong foundation of who I am. So now I need you to come to the table and understand that and know that's who I am. And of course, according to the Most High, because at the end of the day, we are always going to encourage knowing who you are through the Most High God.
Yes, and we have to seek God. Now, some of y'all wondering, like, how do you seek God? Because it says no one has seen the Creator's face and lived. It says something like that.
Yeah.
And it's true. If we can't physically see the Most High, we'll vanish just like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we do it through prayer.
Yes.
We do it through meditation.
Yes.
We do it through action. We do it through obedience of the word. We do it through treating one another.
Yes.
Like loving others as we love ourselves.
Yes.
For it says, love the Lord our God, and then love your neighbor.
Yes.
So we have to do those things, and yeah, Jesus talks about that.
Yes.
His name in Hebrew, by the way, is Yahusha. So sometimes you might hear me say Yahusha.
Yes.
I didn't sneeze. I said his name in Hebrew. So Yahusha, which means Yah saves. Yah saves. And Yah is the Hebrew word for God. And Jamaicans, they say Jah.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
so they say Jah. But yeah, in Hebrew, there's no letter J. So it's Y-A-H, which is Yah. And we say hallelujah all the time in the church, but we don't actually realize that we're actually saying praise God.
Yes.
When we say hallelujah, we're actually saying praise God.
Uh-huh.
But yes, I like to
It's
just
Hebrew.
yeah, absolutely. We say Hebrew. Yeah, a lot of us say Hebrew. We don't even know it. You know, we don't even realize it. So yeah, we have to seek God through prayer, through meditation, through worship. We have to make sure that we're singing to the Most High. We rapping to the Most High. We dancing for the Most High. We dancing. We gigging like King David.
Yes.
We're making music like King David. You stroking the flute, or you playing the keys, or you making beats, or you rapping. You spitting bars. You writing them. You writing them proverbs like King Solomon.
Okay.
However you do it.
Poems, whatever the case may be.
Poetry, however you
Yes.
express your love through the Most High, through art.
Uh-huh.
That's how you seek the Most High. You do it by being artistic and being creative,
Yes.
and by serving other people.
Yes.
We seek the Most High by serving other people, by helping other people. It's not just, I'm just going to meditate and have this outer body experience. I mean, that's part of it, to be connected spiritually, absolutely. But we have to make sure, as Jesus says, Yahushua says, we love the Lord our God,
Yes.
and we love our neighbor.
Yes.
We have to do those two things.
Yes.
First, we gotta get that right, and then we're really seeking the Most High. It's not being on Mount Kilimanjaro and doing some, I don't know, some yoga stretches, right?
Some hum,
It's
yum, yum.
You got this outer body experience, and you tapped into all the chakras and stuff. I mean, hey, that's an experience.
Yeah.
But are you loving other people? Are you taking care of your family? Taking
Yeah.
care of your kids?
Yeah.
You treating your wife with respect, or are you treating your spouse to be your girlfriend, your boyfriend with respect?
Yeah.
These are key things to do to prepare for marriage. To prepare for marriage, we have to seek God.
Yes. Yes.
And we
Build
do
that
it.
strong-
So it's really deep. It's really intrinsic, I guess is the word I'm looking
Yeah.
for. Don't ask me to spell it. Don't ask me. I took a chance with the word intrinsic. But look it up. See if I'm using it correctly. But it's an intrinsic experience to seek God.
Yes.
Because even though we can't physically see the Creator, our Creator, we do it with our actions and with us serving the Most High and serving people.
100%. That was excellent. Yeah, 100%. Seeking the Most High so that you can have that solid foundation, you know, and even when you're in your relationship, having that solid foundation. 100%.
Yeah, you won't be by yourself. Yes, looking for a spouse. Hey, it can be an experience if it's
That's so true.
the dating. You know, you're playing the field and dating. Yeah, it's definitely, you know, you're gonna have your pros and cons with it.
Yes.
But make sure that the Most High is your king, because we're not alone, family. We're not alone.
No, you do not have to feel alone. You don't have to feel desperate. Know that you are with the Most High. The Most High is with you, and that He has someone perfect for you. So you don't have to rush. You can build yourself up, work on yourself, build that solid foundation, and trust in the Most High that the right person will find you.
Absolutely. Financial. How you say that? Preparedness. Oh, we're keeping it. We're not editing it out. You want to see that I'm watching. How you say that? Preparedness.
Yeah,
Preparedness.
preparedness.
Financial preparedness. Oh man. Okay. Well, let me take a first crack at this. So yeah, family, we gotta get our paper right. You gotta be about your paper. You gotta make that money, especially men. If you are seeking to be married, but you only got a job. Hey, that might be one of the first things. No, that's not. I'm like, that's one of the first things to get in order. Make sure you have a job, a job, please. Hey, even if you still, living with your parents, still living with your mama's house. Like when we met, I was still living at my mama's house. I was still living at my parents' house. Like,
I was
keep it
too.
a buck. Hey, you gotta start somewhere. But I did have a job.
Yeah.
So at least get your paper right. Make sure you saving your money. And also, they don't teach us this, but our people are waking up. Shout out to Earn Your Leisure. Shout out to Boyce Watkins, Dr. Boyce Watkins. Make sure that you're investing as well. Invest as a single man or a single woman. Make sure that
Yeah.
you not just saving your money, because that's something I always say. I know how to hoard and save money. Like when we first got together, when we was dating, I did have some money stashed away, but I know nothing about investing until I met my wife, until she put me on this investment game.
Well, yeah, it is important, right, to have a foundation, a financial foundation, right?
Yeah.
Now, listen, you might be in your early ages when you're, starting out to find, a husband or a wife, right? You might be in your early 20s, or some of us may be, a little bit older. No,
Yeah.
there's nothing, no issues with that,
Yeah,
right?
whenever you're ready.
Whenever you're ready. But let's just say you're at a younger stage, maybe you're in college, well, that's going to be between you and your partner to work those things out, because hey, maybe you're a full-time college student. So make sure that the person who you're pursuing understands that, hey, you know what? I'm a full-time college student. I don't have a lot of spare finances, but I'm working towards these goals. I'm working towards my dreams so that I can become someone that is prepared financially for this relationship, right? So it's important to have those conversations, but most importantly, to make sure that you have a plan, right? Because nobody wants to be with somebody that does not have a plan, that doesn't have any thoughts on where their finances are going to be. Because what we do know is finances are actually an important part of a relationship.
It's one of the keys, family. Without, what's it say?
What's
Without,
it?
you already know what I'm thinking. We've been married, family,
Yeah,
for
there's-
what? We 6 years now.
Yeah, 6 years. There's no romance
That's
without finance.
Big facts.
Yeah,
Intrinsic facts, I know. No, that's
Intrinsic.
no, that is facts. Yeah, so have those conversations. Be open. Be honest.
Early.
Men, do not put on the front. And also too, don't just sell, the woman that you're dating on potential either. Don't just run your mouth and make all these promises and you're not gonna fulfill them either.
You're not
Because
really.
one of our skill sets is our mouthpiece, and just make sure you be honest, man.
Yeah. And for my women out there, listen, it's also important for yourself to have a financial foundation as well. It's important for you to know what your future is going to look like financially, have plans available. Don't just think, hey, he's going to be my meal ticket. I just don't think that's the way to go about it, because what happens if he leaves? What happens if that doesn't work out that way? Are you just going to be like, I'm single now and now I'm broke because I can't find a man? Or maybe you found a good man, but maybe he's not currently making as much money, what are you going to do then? So in my opinion, I think that as a woman, you still need to have a financial preparedness, right? You still need to have an idea of where your money is going to come from as well. Hey, it might work out and maybe, you end up just being a stay-at-home wife and he's taking care of all the bills. Maybe, or maybe not. But nevertheless, I think that it's super, super important to have a financial foundation even as a woman, because you see women that they'll get into relationships and they'll be getting abused and all types of stuff, and it's because they don't have any financial foundation. So they feel like, I have to stay in this situation because how else are my bills going to get paid?
Yeah, you don't want to be in that situation, family. So yeah, let's just make sure that we have these conversations early in the dating stages. I know they're uncomfortable. Yeah, they don't necessarily lead into romance. They definitely don't lead into foreplay or anything like that.
Man.
Can I say foreplay? Is that appropriate for the show?
Yeah.
we adults, right?
Right, we
So-
know, we know what it is.
Yeah, hey, it doesn't necessarily lead to that. Usually, it's actually a turn on. It could be, but
It can.
It can be.
Because it's like serious stuff, right? It's like no one really wants to talk about the serious stuff, but ultimately the
Yeah.
serious stuff is part of life. It's part of a relationship. It's part of a marriage. So might as well get that out the way early
Yes,
on.
it's part of preparing to be married.
100%.
Getting your paper right.
100%.
And having a plan, as you said, as you put together. And not be in a situation where you be taken advantage of.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Well, maybe I think we did that one.
Yeah. I think you got this one now.
Okay, aligning life goals and values. So you're definitely going to want to align your life goals and your values with your future spouse, right? You want to get that out the way pretty early as well. For instance, if one of your deal breakers is that like the person that you're with can't be an atheist, then you're going to want to get that out the way early on. You're going to want to know, okay, what is your spiritual walk? How do you feel about, God? These are going to be things that you're going to want to ask early on. You're going to want to make sure that those align, because You can get with somebody who doesn't have the same spiritual values as you, but that could cause friction when raising your children. This could cause friction just in day-to-day life, right?
Yeah, it can cause confusion. And our Creator is not an author of confusion.
Yeah.
He says that in scriptures. So yeah, make sure that you have certain standards going in to dating when you're being prepared, or when you are prepared to be married. As you're prepared, you want to make sure that you have standards, things that you're just not going to put up with.
Yeah.
Like for me, one of my standards was that you have to love God. You have to have a relationship with God. And yeah, baby, you checked all my boxes and more. You've checked out
You
boxes
too,
I didn't
baby.
even have on there. Like,
Aw.
you checked that. No, real talk. For sure. And yeah, so make sure you have standards. So yeah, I've had standards, and
I had
and
standards
yeah.
too.
Yeah, and it doesn't make you cruel or better than somebody.
No.
It's just it's going to be greater later, and it's going to avoid the confusion. Especially
Yeah.
bringing up the example of dating somebody who's an atheist, and you're a Christian, or you're an Israelite, or you're a Muslim, or whatever your beliefs are. If you have conflicting beliefs and you're trying to raise children, it can raise a problem for sure.
It could be tough.
And then you can have a divided. You're gonna have a lot of arguments and division and confusion.
100%. You know, in even spiritual days, right? Maybe one person is, their holy day is on Saturday, and another person's holy day is on Sunday. So it's kind of like,
Oh yeah, right.
it can cause
Yeah.
just those logistics problems as
Oh
well,
yeah,
right?
logistic problem. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's the key too. Like, hey, if you bring up logistics, yeah, it's like if you date somebody where that's like overseas,
Oh, yeah.
or it could work. Now I'm not trying to encourage
It
you
could.
not to try to make it work, but it's going to take a lot of effort on both of you guys to make sure
100%.
that this relationship is going to work, this marriage is going to work. But yes, logistics can be a problem. You date somebody that's in another state, and you guys get to see each other maybe 3 times a year. Those are problems. Logistics are things you have to work out and talk about. And also too, have standards that, hey, from a male perspective, like you should have standards that the woman that you want to marry, she has to have these things. I don't mean to be cruel or evil, but I'm just
No,
saying
it's important.
it matters. I'm not saying look for perfection, because perfection is in the Creator. We find perfection in our Creator.
100%.
Nobody's perfect but our Creator. Yeah.
Yes.
But as far as human beings, now we have flaws,
Yeah.
right? But at the same time, make sure, men, that you have your standards. Hey, if you're attracted to a certain you're attracted to certain things about a woman, hey, I think you should keep those standards.
Oh, yeah.
I don't mean to be mean, but I'm just saying, because sex is important. Attraction is important.
100%.
You know?
It is. Sex is an important part of marriage. In case you didn't know, it's also.
She might be able to
important
make you laugh and stuff, and you guys might be, you guys hang out, like to hang out stuff, but you guys want to,
And enjoy
get
other
intimate,
things too.
right? So if you're dating somebody that's just totally not your type, or you're dating somebody that, like, their ideologies are different, like you guys don't really have anything in common.
Yeah.
Like it's hard for you guys. You guys got different political views. And,
They're the person that you're dating likes to go out all the time, but you like to stay home all the time. These are all things that you want to work out early on. You want to get that situated. You want to make sure that your life and your values align, right? If this person is a truck driver that you're dating, and you know that they're not going to be home that often, well, are you the type of person that could be okay with that? Are you the type of person that could be like, okay, it's okay that I don't get to see my spouse every single day? So these are all really, really important. Know what your deal breakers are. Know what you're willing to accept, what you're not willing to accept, because like my husband said, no one's going to be perfect, right? But you want to know those core things that you're not willing to compromise on.
right, for sure.
Yes.
And also too, on the flip side, if you're really attracted to her, but man, she's heckin' disrespectful.
Oh.
She's all crazy to you. She disrespects you in public. You gotta cut that off.
Yeah.
You gotta cut that off. You gotta let her go.
Same with my ladies out there. You know, it's kind of like with the red flags one. You know,
Yeah,
you're
right.
starting to see red flags, and he's, you know, trying to talk to you and all your friends too. You know, he's probably not the best
Ooh,
one.
that's toxic. That's messy.
Yeah, so make sure that you have those. Absolutely, no, I will not allow this to happen.
But I imagine don't have too many standards though. Don't have like a
Yeah.
laundry list. Don't have like I'm gonna say a honey-do list. Or just, you get my point. Don't have like this long
Laundry list of
receipt,
stuff. Yeah.
grocery receipt
Right.
list of things. That person doesn't exist.
No.
It's a fantasy. Let it go.
For real, because we've seen that too, where someone, they're not able to find this perfect made up person that they've come up with in their head. It's like, no,
Yeah.
that person's not out there.
They're a figment of your imagination.
Exactly.
Wake up into reality. Have a cup of coffee. What? Wake up and smell the coffee.
Right.
For sure.
100%.
For sure.
Well,
Is it my turn? I'll cut you off. My bad.
yeah. The next one is yours, baby.
Okay, as I wake up and smell coffee. Building a support system. Oh. Yeah, don't go this route by yourself. Now, dating, being prepared to be married, you want to make sure that, hey, a person you're dating, we've mentioned this before in a previous video, but it's important that when you bring the person you're dating home, you know, to your parents to meet them, bring them home to the family, you know, at least listen to, you know, their opinion, you know,
100%.
especially if it's an opinion that you can trust.
Yes, 100%. You know, and also too, you might want to get around people who are married as well. You know, before you enter into a marriage, you may want to seek elders who have been married for a while. You know, hear about some of their stories, some of their ups and downs that they've had in their marriage as well. One of the things that me and my husband did too was we got premarital counseling.
Yeah, we sure did.
And I would say it's really great, right? Because we got to hear from the pastor and his wife and their experiences, and a lot of great knowledge, honestly, that came from them as well, because they had been married for several years. When you're new in the married world, a lot of stuff comes at you fast, for real. So I definitely would say it's great to seek some sort of counseling, or someone, an elder who's been married, you know, who can actually give you some legitimate advice.
Yeah, so if you have access to, you know, people that, you know, that's going to give you sound advice, and they're going to give you some, you know, some wisdom, some game, some experience, yeah, take heed to that, because it's really going to help you. It's really going to benefit you. And that was a great point that you brought out, getting marriage counseling. And the pastor that married us, the pastor that gave us, I already said it, the pastor who gave us the counseling, him and his wife, well, the pastor actually married us.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a beautiful thing, and it was, you know, they are a beautiful couple, and yeah, and it's beautiful too, because black couple, and you know, hey, black love is real, man.
And they had been together in their early years too, so it was just really great to hear their perspective. And yeah,
They're really vulnerable with us too. Like, they're pretty honest. That's why I really appreciate
100%, right?
Yeah.
So definitely, you know, seek somebody that you can trust, someone that's going to be real with you and let you know, hey, marriage is not just, you know, roses and flowers all the time. Sometimes there's going to be your ups, sometimes you're going to have your downs, but at the end of the day, you made the commitment to this person, you made the covenant to this person, and so how are you going to, through the downs, how are you going to be able to sustain, right?
Yeah, hey, if you know, not all of us are fortunate to have parents that are married, that are still married, have been married for years, but if you come from that background where, you know, both your parents are married, hey, listen to your parents.
Yeah.
Listen to what worked for them. Sure, don't try to reinvent the wheel and figure it out yourself. Like, let's seek wisdom. Let's seek counselors, as the word says, as the word of God says.
Yes.
Let's do that. Hey, and if you don't know anybody physically, you can do it online through social media.
100%.
Hey, you can reach out to us as well.
Yeah. And also,
And we're learning, we're growing and we're learning and growing while we're married. So
100%, you know, and we try to keep this as honest and open with you guys as we can, because ultimately we know we've been married, so we understand some of the things that, you know, newer couples may be going through, right? So, you know, we're definitely here to try to help. But yeah, as my husband said, you know, seek after those people, especially marriages that you actually like, right? Like, you might have seen a marriage, but it might not have been a healthy one. It might have been a bit dysfunctional, right? So if you notice that the marriage that you maybe seen more often was, a little bit dysfunctional, you might not want to implement that. But if you saw like a healthy, good marriage growing up, yes, definitely want to take those
Yeah.
techniques.
Yeah, because the elders, hey, they've seen that movie over and over and over and over.
Mhm.
They've seen they've got a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge, and a lot of it to give as well.
100%.
All right.
That's great.
So what's the next point now? Let's see.
Okay,
Right here.
preparing for life changes. Yes, family, when you get married, you're gonna go through some changes.
Oh yeah, for sure. Men, you gotta give up playing the field. You're dating that playing, the dating and doing all that. It's over, family. It's over.
Women,
It's
you
over,
as
man.
well.
Yeah.
Getting out of your independent era now. You're
Oh.
getting into your wife era.
That's right. That's right. And that doesn't make you a simp either. And it actually makes you a man.
Yeah.
To want to elevate and get to the next stage of your life, to become a husband, to become a father. It's called elevation. It's not being a simp. It's not simp culture.
No, not at all. I really, that term is kind of annoying because a lot of times it's not used correctly to me.
Right. It's misapplied, right? It's not
Yeah,
applied
it's
appropriately.
not applied correctly because some people will see a man that's treating his wife well and taking care of his family, and they'll call him a simp. No, he's not a simp. He's doing what he's supposed to do as the head of the household and as the husband, right? And for my women out there, I know, a lot of us will be all about that independent woman. I got my own this, that, and the third. But when you become a wife, guess what? I'm happy to say I'm a dependent woman, okay? I am dependent upon my husband, and we're dependent upon each other.
for real. Yeah, that makes
One-
sense. Yeah, don't that sound good? Man, that sounds good. Don't that sound good, fellas?
Okay? Don't you want to have
Yeah.
someone you can depend on?
Man,
I
we
definitely
do.
do.
Yeah, we
Uh-huh.
depend on each other for sure. And it doesn't make you a simp that a man is willing to take care of children that biologically are not his, are not related to him. But depending on the relationship that man has with the children, he can be considered to be their father. Just it depends
100%.
on your situation. Every situation is different. But a man that's willing to take care of other people's children, that does not make him a simp. That doesn't make him weak. That doesn't make him a save-a-hoe. I took a chance.
Yeah.
That's a Bay Area come out of me, family. That'll make him a save-a-hoe.
It's true.
I'm not saying that save-a-hoes don't exist. That might be in for another show.
Right, that's another topic.
Hey, you feel me? Right? That's for another show. But I'm just saying, a man that's willing to take care of the household, protect, provide, and love children that are not related to him by blood, that's a man right there.
It's a man.
We need to appreciate and lift up that culture, because that's culture right there.
100%. That's not to say, hey, you just have to go out there and find a woman that has children. You don't have to do that.
Yeah,
right?
but we getting older, so I mean, the older we get, eventually,
The more
you know,
likely it's gonna happen.
and it's
right?
not just her fault. Like, we don't know what
We don't
exactly
know
happened.
this. That's why it's
Yeah.
important to have those conversations, right? Have
Right.
those conversations early on. But like my husband
And that
said,
negative stereotype too that black women get for being single mothers is terrible.
yeah,
It's terrible, and a lot of it comes from us.
yeah,
We're regurgitating this lie in our community.
We are 100%, So yeah, hopefully we can definitely start changing the culture on that, and understanding that, hey, just because a woman has kids does not mean that she's less valuable, But also to that
I
same,
mean, she has kids. I mean, she's a mother.
yeah, yeah, that's what it means. It means she's a mother.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm not gonna lie. One of the things that I wanted was for my husband to not have kids previously, and that's okay. If that's a standard that you have, that's a standard that you have, right? But of course, as you get older in the ages, and that's why honestly, it's important to try to get married at a reasonable age, in my opinion. Trying to get married at 40 and 50. Well, what do you expect?
And it's a little strange too, where it's like you're dating somebody. You guys are, you guys are both, in your 40s,
hmm
and none of y'all have kids.
Yeah,
It's a little strange in today's culture. Abraham and Sarah, that was an exception, so please don't use that. That's a different context.
yeah.
They were married. They wanted to have kids.
Yeah. If you actually
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
have kids,
Yeah, she was
and-
barren for many years.
because that does happen too,
Yeah.
So yeah, we're not judging anybody,
Right,
but
right.
at the end of the day, typically, people childbirthing years are earlier in a woman's life, typically, right?
And also too, And also too, I have to say this. I gotta be fair for both, just to be objective and fair to everybody, to men and women. Hey, just because a woman has children, she's there, that doesn't necessarily make her a great mother. Hey, I gotta be real. I know it's a little uncomfortable, but as a man, when you're dating a woman that has kids, watch the way how she treats her children. That's key. If she don't treat her children right, how do you think she gonna treat you?
Ooh,
That's her seed right there.
And same with the men. If women, if you're dating a man and he has children, but he never sees those kids,
Oh, he's a deadbeat?
he's a deadbeat.
Oh, no.
That's red flag. We should have put that in the red flag video,
man.
okay? No. Make sure that you're looking at all these things, right? Especially before marriage. If he's not seeing his kids, if he's making up excuses for why he can't see his kids, and you don't actually see him really trying to make an effort to see his kids, that should be a red flag, because you know that if he's not even able to see his own seed and really provide and care for his own seed, what do you think he's going to do with you? Or even if you have kids?
Right. Yes, and there's variables. Yeah, he may want to see his kids, but the baby's mother's not allowing. There's a whole lot of details to consider. So don't rush into any conclusions.
100%.
But make sure you do your investigation while you're dating,
Yeah.
as you are prepared for marriage.
100%. Ask those questions, right?
Yeah.
It's nothing wrong with asking those questions. Okay, I know that you have kids.
Mm-hmm.
When do you get to see them, right? And if he's saying, well, hey, I don't get to see them because, the ex or whatever the case may be, you can inquire more. So, have you tried to go to court? Because here's the thing: as much as we don't like going to court, in some cases you have to, especially when it comes
child
to
support.
No, but especially when it comes to seeing your kids, right?
Yeah.
If you're a man or even a woman and you don't get the opportunity to see your kids because someone is withholding your kids from you, you have the right to go to court and to say, no, I need to be able to have a say in my child's life. And trust me, I've seen situations where men do go to court and they get granted that opportunity to see their kids.
I have too.
Yeah.
I've seen it both ways. Either situation.
100%, right? Now, another red flag could be if they're not able to see their kids and that's court ordered.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that you would want to check out
Right.
and look more into. So,
And what I mean for clarification, where the woman has custody of the children, then also seen on the flip side where the man is making effort to get that custody and he actually is rewarded.
yeah.
I've seen both sides. But we got to do our investigation and not make assumptions.
100%.
That's part of the whole being prepared for marriage.
Being prepared for marriage, right? Because you want to know. You want to make sure that you want to know what you're getting yourself into, right? Because the point of marriage is for it to be a lifetime. The point of marriage is for that to be your partner for life, your covenant partner, right?
That's right.
So you want to make sure you get these things out of the way. You want to make sure there's no surprises that come up after the marriage, right? Make sure that you're really taking time out to look into all these things.
Absolutely. So we are right here, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Conclusion and takeaways.
Yeah.
All right. So we're basically wrapping up, family.
So what are some takeaways that you would say, are important for our viewers to know, our fam to know?
Yes, I didn't mention this, but I'm going to mention it now. Don't rush the process. Take your time in the dating stage.
Yes.
Enjoy it.
Yes.
Have a good time.
Yes.
Hey, you're going to go on several dates. They may not work out. Hey, there's no connection. It just doesn't work out. But make sure that you're enjoying the process.
Yeah.
And don't just rush into a marriage. Part of being prepared for marriage is not rushing into a marriage. For the Bible says, do not be anxious for anything.
100%.
Right? So don't be anxious to want to be married, just to be married, to have that title or whatever your reason may be. Take your time. Don't rush it. Enjoy it.
100%. No, I agree. Take your time. Enjoy your single time too. Sometimes what happens is people never get that time for themselves. They get into a marriage so quick that they never have a time for themselves, to figure themselves out, to know who they are, know what they like, know what they dislike. And then they find themselves in a marriage 10 years later being unhappy because they're completely a different person. They never got a chance to know who they are or to have it, have fun, have that single time. Your single years, should be years where you're figuring yourself out and having fun, dating and seeing what you like and what you don't like, right? There's nothing wrong with that.
It's true, because when we first met, we were actually talking to other people.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and hey, it's natural, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
hey, it's natural, but so, like, enjoy the process, okay? Like, really, don't make it too serious. Yeah, it's a serious matter.
Yeah, it is serious.
Talking about marriage here.
But don't
yeah.
make it like, okay, I've just met this person and now you got to be my husband. Yeah, you're mine now.
And I do not encourage you. Now, some fellas are not going to like what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. I do not encourage, slinging what genitals. No, just having one night stands. That's not the fun that I'm talking about.
No, that's not what I'm talking about either.
I'm talking about like going on dates, having conversations, like spending time with the person that you're courting, that you're getting to meet. Like, enjoy that process, because it can be stressful. It can be stressful swiping that Tinder, over and over. You're not throwing money. This is not money, right? No, this is Tinder.
Tinder
Like,
swipes.
oh man, nobody here in this area.
Oh man.
So yeah, enjoy it, because it's difficult to find that one.
100%, right? But sometimes you need to go through some. Sometimes what they say. Sometimes you need to kiss a few frogs before you can find your prince.
Oh, that's a good one. Well, I'm a frog.
No.
Oh, and I turned into a prince? No, I totally
No,
missed that
no.
one. Keep that. Don't delete that. That's good, though. Say that again.
Sometimes you got to kiss a few frogs before you can find your prince, right?
Hey.
Because you know Princess and the Frog, right?
Yeah, I watched, like, when I was a little kid. I watched that.
Yeah, that's kind of.
You gotta kiss a few frogs. Yeah, a couple of busters out there. Some lame ones, right? Yeah, go with some lame ones.
Sometimes you gotta go through some lame ones before you can find that right one, that perfect one. But don't feel like you have to rush, right? But to the opposite side of that is, once you feel like this is the person for you, you don't have to drag out the marriage for 10 years. Like, them people that be engaged, I'm sorry if this is
Man.
but those people
man.
who are
Yeah,
engaged
yeah.
for like 10 years,
Oh, goodness gracious.
what's going on?
Man.
It shouldn't take that long either, right? If you know that this is a good person, you've been with them already now,
And you guys got children already?
man, just go ahead on and settle down.
Yeah,
What are we waiting for now?
Yeah. Bend the knee, fellas. With a real rock, too. Make sure you have a real rock.
Okay.
Don't go to the kiosk and get one of them little cheap ring. Yeah,
No pop wings.
Yeah, no little ring pop.
The
I
ring
used to like
pops.
those back in the day.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, also, too, in closing, I also like to say, continue to pursue your passions. Just because you are prepared for marriage, and when you get into marriage, that doesn't mean give up your passion.
Yeah.
Your whatever skill, whatever calling that the Most High has given you, that doesn't mean that you have to give that up. I encourage that we continue to seek the things that give us pleasure, and that give us meaning, that give us it gives us purpose. So continue to pursue your purpose and your passion, whatever it may be.
100%, right? You don't want to give up everything that makes you who you are, just to compromise in your marriage. Yes, in marriage there is compromise, right?
For sure,
when you date
sure.
someone, there is compromise. But that doesn't mean give up the things that you love to do, give up who you are, and lose yourself in your relationship.
And do that while you're dating too. While you're dating,
Yeah.
make sure that you're pursuing your passions. Is also too, it gets rid of that stress of, I just want to get married. I just want to find that person.
Uh-huh.
Like, you're enjoying life as you're going, and you're going to meet the right one as you're going.
Yes.
That's how it's going to feel. But I ain't gonna lie, at times it does feel tough, especially when you're going through some days, which is like, man,
That was trash.
I wish I could have just took this. Can I take that back?
Man, rewind.
Can I do a rewind? Like, can I edit that part out of my life?
Man, it's true. Sometimes, But you hey, we all got to go through things so we can get to where we really want to be. But yeah,
it's hard trying to find the right one, and just keep on seeking the Most High, family.
Yes.
Keep on working on yourself.
Yes.
Make sure that you love yourself. Make sure that you look into our history too. Look into our heritage.
Yes.
And and I just continue to grow, to learn, to eat better, to exercise,
Yes.
to pray, to be faithful to the Most High, and also too, just keep on working on your passions. Like, keep pursuing your passions and enjoying life, because it says in the Bible, it says an excellent wife or a virtuous woman virtuous wife, who can find, right? A virtuous wife, who can find? She is far more valuable than rubies, or she's more precious than rubies. And rubies or pearls, that word in Hebrew, it's like either rubies or pearls. We're not sure what the actual word is when you look into the Hebrew, but it is valuable jewels that's found like at the bottom of the ocean. So you got to go through some scuba diving.
Yeah,
and when you're dating, it feels like you're going through some scuba diving
100%.
because the lower you go, the more pressure you're going to feel from the water.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel sometimes when you're going through all these dates trying to find the right
true.
one, especially in 2024.
Man, it's so true.
You might be like, I'm going to give up. I might just be celibate.
It's
Or
too much-
I quit.
it's too much
I
pressure.
said celibate. I should have said that. But it's going to feel like, man, I don't know.
It's
I hate
true.
dating. Search for that one.
Search for that one, but they're out there, and following these techniques, like my husband was saying, knowing yourself, having that solid foundation of who you are and where you come from, having boundaries, knowing what you're willing to accept, what you're not willing to accept, knowing the values that need to be carried, that you feel like you want to keep for your family as well, getting those things, knowing your finances, how are we doing the bills, all that stuff is so important. Before jumping into a marriage and just getting married, make sure that you have that stuff figured out and you know.
After all that searching, I'm so happy that I found the one, right?
I'm so happy that I found you. Truly.
Yeah, I might have been playing cool at first. I was trying,
Well, that's, sometimes
we both were, though.
we
We got the area swag. We both were. We was both feeling ourselves. It's like,
and that's good, right?
we was in the building and we was feeling
We was
ourselves. If
feeling
you're from the Bay, you know.
ourselves. But at the
Rest in
same
peace, Mac
time,
Dre.
right? Rest in peace, Mac Dre, for sure. But as much as we were feeling ourselves, we understood that we had to give to each other. Like we had to, be vulnerable with one another too. And that's the thing too. You can have all the self-confidence in the world, but at the same time, you got to be able to have that vulnerability with that person and let them know how you feel. Because how else are they supposed to know, if this person is serious? Are you serious about me? Well, you guys show me those vulnerable moments.
Well, baby, the cool points went out the window. It got me all twisted in the game. That's how I felt. I felt like Bro from
Bringing down the house. Yes,
Yeah,
and we
for
will.
Sure. The cool points that go out the window. You had me twisting the game. Yeah.
Well, we'll definitely have to tell you guys.
Yeah, that's a whole nother episode, right?
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, guys. Well, do you have anything else?
Stay blessed. Continue to love the Most High. Love yourself. Enjoy life.
100%. And we'll see you guys next Sunday, fam. Thank you for staying tuned with us. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification button.
That's right. That's right.
Yes. And we'll see you guys next time. So, fam, until next time, this is Jazz.
This is Jaden.
Peace.